Wait, what? You must log into oh my gosh, Streamlabs, you're goofing up really bad. Oh well, anyway, give me a second. I'm going to, as usual, share this the usual hard way, and then we will start. Still getting ish. And this content isn't available right now. No, it's because it's because you can't seem to properly link to comments. Oh my gosh, Streamlabs, you're really failing right now. Anyway, we'll worry about that. Share. More options, share to a group. Let's just do the group shares first, and then we will proceed. You guys can already kind of tell what I'm up to. We're having trouble running your requests. Okay, that one worked. So let's try. Okay, so let's just try it in reverse order. It'll be easier for me to remember. Okay, that one worked. I might also want to look for a different Philippine group now also as well. If only because this one doesn't seem to, yeah, we're having trouble completing your request. Oh well, that one's not gonna get through. It is what it is. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be doing Premier Draft of Magic Arena, Premier Draft of Dominaria United. This time it's the Alchemy version, so there are a few additional cards. We'll just go over. We'll just do this as a demonstration. I wonder how many people will actually draft this when the actual Dominaria United set is still up and is really popular, I might add as well. So we're gonna see how we'll see how it adds up. So far it's looking 50-50. Not quite. One of the okay, there you go. We got 4 people in. 4 other people aside from me. Okay, we actually have a live draft. Let's see if well, sort of a live draft. I still have to wait for seats to fill. No, this seats. Everyone to confirm. But we should be good to go. Just one more person. It's okay. There we go. We're live. And right off the bat, we can always take Transportal, which is actually not a really good card. I would probably rather just take Lightning Strike, to be honest. Yeah, I'm giving up a rare, but right now Lightning Strike is pretty much the best card. I want to be on the lookout for very aggro cards if I do go this route. And nothing else really enthuses me. There is a Trove Mage. Seek an artifact card from among the top 10 cards of your library. You don't really want to be drafting artifacts for the most parts. So even if this digs really deep for limited, that's a no. We'll take the Lightning Strike. Transportal's not quite the Fabled Passage replacement that it was meant to be. The biggest downer is really the pay 1 life. Just to activate it. Yeah, it gives you a land type, which is kind of relevant for domain, but not... Okay, so here's something more interesting here. I can just take the Priest of Possibility, get my rare. The caveat is I will be heavily incentivized to pick creatures with keywords. By itself, not so bad. It is a 2-mana 2/2. I won't cry if I just get this as a vanilla. It is better than any of the 2 red cards. You might just go white-red aggro if at this rate. It's looking a lot better than black-red. And it gives me a rare, so So I'll take that as part of my quota. Not the... But we have to be on the... We have to take note that there is a finite list of keywords here. Most notably, ward is not counted. So there are some cards that it's gonna miss. We do get Plaza of Heroes. I'd prefer to have just opened this regularly and not during draft. Otherwise, Benelish Sleeper, we can splash the black quite easily. It is a solid mainstay. There is way too much black, speaking of which, so like I could take the Extinguish the Light, but my gosh, we are gonna be hurting for black. It's easier to splash for the black, just stick to white red at this point. I don't really feel like committing to double black sim, because as soon as let's say I take the Extinguish the Light, I'm gonna be competing for black in every respect. I would rather pass all the black. Let's compete for something else. That's kind of the plan. Also, good job. We're not drafting Taros Beyond Death, but nice QC right there, Wizards. Can't get everything right, can you? Now, Benelish Fate Bonder, that does give us Vigilance, so that is one keyword. I could take the Sunlit Marsh or the Shieldred's Restoration. We can pretty much go for this one. Although I did say I want to pass on the black. Alternately, I could just take the Riding Necromass. It gives me Death Touch as a keyword. It is a decent late game card. Because some Fate Bonder is fine, but not really that interesting. I'll take the Restoration here. Let's see where it goes. We could easily just end up white-black if no good red comes around. Well, we're not getting much in the way of good... Well, good red in the sense we got Flowstone Infusion. It is very good removal. I feel really bad we're passing a lot of these lands. I'm hoping we could get one of them back. I would prefer at least the red-black one. I'm also noting that a lot of the... Okay, so... Probably take the War... Usually I take Samite Herbalist. It's a 2-drop. You really want to go solid here. I also really don't feel like... As I said, I don't feel like competing for black. So I want to cut as much white as possible. That's pretty much my early plan here. And Samite Herbalist really helps in the Enlist, which is a thing in white. It is kind of a thing in red. So we have some options there. There's also the Red Goblin with Enlist. That one's a really good one. Do I just take Sten for a free rare? If I want to win, I probably would take something like the Vivisector, or actually I would take the Necromass at this point. We have a Restoration already. So I'll give up. I got one rare. Technically, you could get 2 rares between that and the Arena card. Spell Chain Scatter. When you cast your next instant and sorcery, okay, we can skip that. We don't have that many instant sorceries. Mesa Cavalier would be a solid pick. Marius Outrider, we're kind of domain tree at this point. I think I'll take the Cavalier in this case. I'm working with what I know best, which if I'm using the previous draft as a marker, yeah, I really should do this more often. We'll take one Firenado. Not too happy with that. I would rather have just one. There's a Heroic Charge. We could go for that. The Goblin Picker, not so much. So we're taking the one Firenado as a safety card. Like the common cycle, they're all 5 power. They're all 5 toughness. So Firenado is a good fit, especially since we're really fighting for. Okay, do I take the Walking Bulwark? No. Yeah, Hammerhand is a better fit. We're probably going to be white-red at this point. So the black is probably going to be a splash. We might end up just not taking these 2 cards. Well, first Alchemy card, and I'm not going to be running it. Toxic Abomination is more likely to be run, but we'll see. Furious Bellow, that's also an option. Hey, Defiler of Fate. Now this is a solid one. Oh, we also got the Night Counselor. We're definitely taking Defiler of Fate at this point. But we're passing a lot of good white cards. The Prayer of Binding Solid removal, Captain's Call, we're even passing a Ranger, which is fine as a common. We have to take the Defiler of Fate, of course. And we got Daragaz's Whelp. Hey, Lee Martin, Hernando Eforong, thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? I'm also gonna have a hard time keeping... Is this a free game? This is MTG Arena. It is free to play. And I'll pretty much leave it there. We're definitely taking Captain's Call at this point. If we can cut off as much white as possible, we will. That's pretty much the plan. Nyambi. Is it too late to splash blue? Or green for that matter, because I am tempted to take the second Captain's Call. I'm more likely to actually take the Sacred Peaks now because I'll note that a lot of these dual lands did not come back at all. I think only a few off colors, so we will take the Sacred Peaks. Yeah, we're passing on the Captain's Call, but that's fine. Okay, now we need to make a decision. If we still want to prioritize black, there is a cut down. If not, I would probably take up the shield. Other creatures you control of the chosen type. So, soldier. There is another soldier here. We don't have that many soldiers. We can name human. Yeah, we'll take the construct. It might be fine. It's worth as an experiment, but I'm not gonna be too tied up to it. It's looking like the red might actually be the splash. We're still getting a good number of black cards. Join Forces is solid. Take up the shield is solid. Fire Action Warhorse. I think we do take the Join Forces. Actually, let's do a creature check. Nope. We take the Fire Action Warhorse. There is the Cyclops. No, we take the Warhorse. It's a cheaper card, so we cut the Firenado. We try to look out for harder removal. Artillery Blast is fine. Resolute Reinforcement is also quite fine. I do like this one as well. But since our removal suite is quite light, I probably want to take the Artillery Blast here. We should probably also be on the lookout for... Yeah, so we're probably going white. So the red is going to be a splash here. We're going pretty much white-black again. Nothing's changed. Still kind of the same. Yeah, MTG Arena, free to play, all good stuff. Let's see. We do get another reinforcements. There is another herbalist. There's an enthrall to the pit, which is very expensive. I think I take... I kind of actually want to take the Hurler Cyclops, but we probably should take another herbalist here. Yeah, these are the cards we're looking for. Argivan Cavalier. There is an aggressive... Pilfer's fine. Warhorse. We already have one Warhorse. Captain's Call came back. So we are going to be on the lookout for cards like Heroic Charge. We'll take the Yavimaya Steel Crusher. It is... So we could actually still go back to white-red. Let's see, because right now we really only have one real... Yeah, we'll take the Fate Ponder now. We have only one real actual black card. The other, like sure, Shieldred's Restoration is a nice combat trick, but we really only want to get Defiler of Fate or Necromass back. The other cards we can care less. Okay, so we're gonna do an experimental switch. Let's say we go main white-red. We can even ignore the Warhorse at this point. So what does that leave us? Furious Bellow is fine. That also gives us a Trail of Possibility as a possibility, I would say. Llanowar Loam Speaker. Meh. Twinferno is a decent combat trick. We have Geothermal Bogus because it gives us double strike. This is flexible compared to the Alchemy card. So it's flexible with the Lightning Strike. It's flexible with the Flowstone Infusion. It's really decent with the Captain's Call. We'll be taking that one. Okay, there is a Defiler of Flesh. There's also an LS. This is the... If there's a card I'm going to splash for in black, it would be this one. Especially with the number of incidental creatures we have. I guess we can afford to take this. Why am I not taking Defiler of Flesh? Because we're mostly white at this point. Priest of Possibility, not actually... Okay, we got Death Touch, 1 flying, 1 vigilance. Yeah, 2 vigilance. Not looking really great. Tiana gives us another flying, but we don't have any vehicles. Would I rather just have another Flowstone Infusion? I think a flyer is fine. Yeah, a 3/2 flyer is fine. Yeah, we'll take the 3/2 flyer. It's quite fine because Flowstone Infusion. It's up there. It's just not that great. Yeah, this is it. Now we got Cleaving Skyrider. That gives us good removal. I would definitely take this one. I should also start considering Jeskai. Stall for time. That would be a good option. G2 Amplifier, we're probably never gonna kick that. Phoenix Chick. Well, there is a good chance we are gonna be attacking with 3 or more creatures. So it's either that or the Mesa Cavalier. I think we can take 1 Chick. It's at least interesting enough to be worth a shot. So we're splashing a little black, not too much. We got not that much in list. Might as well just take the Sulphurous Springs because I really don't want another Flowstone Infusion. Enthrall is not... I'm not enthralled by Enthrall. We'll just take the... It will, and it does solve our black splash problem a bit. We do need 1 hard black. Oh yeah, we have a Coalition construct that is kind of stranded right now, actually. Like, we got 7 humans, 5 clerics, so we have options to name. UOT is not good. Yeah, we did get more Flowstone Infusions. I guess we can just move them here now. We got a Wingmantle Chaplain but we don't have all the... We didn't draft any of the defenders. I guess a Benelish Fate Bonder is still fine. Got another one, but this time we'll take the Molten Monstrosity instead. That is our heavy hitter, so to speak. No, do I want a Flowstone Kavu or do I want just another Fate Bonder? Fate Bonder is actually the weakest of the bunch. We'll take another Fate Bonder though. We'll take another Flowstone Infusion at that. So that's our removal suite, but well, Vanquisher's Axe is an option. Probably could have just taken the Yotia because I probably would not run the Axe anyway. And let's do a sanity check on our deck. The Twinferno is the... We might be able to do without it. We're not married to the Twinferno, so to speak. We do have a Sacred Peaks. We do have a Sulphurous Springs. 7, 8. I can see an argument for like an 8-1. We're only at the mercy of LS. If I add more black cards, sure, we can reconsider that. So let's some the speculative cards. Coalition Construct. It's an ETB effect, so it will only affect the cards in my hand and the cards that are on the battlefield at the time. But if it dies, it dies. So let's see. We got Soldier, Fire Action Human. So we're most likely going to be naming either Human, Cleric, or Soldier based on what the battlefield is. It is worth it as a combat trick of sorts. We can probably cut the Artillery Blast here. This deals 3 damage to a tapped creature. I would probably just rather have a Flowstone Infusion at this point. Furious Bellow. Yeah, we'll probably cut that as well. Now, this is how I would run this. Am I convinced that this is... this might be one of the weaker versions of this deck because I had to make a decision between black and red, and I already knew beforehand that I was going to be passing on a lot of the... I was going to be passing a lot of black, so I decided not to commit to it altogether. That said, let's hope we do have enough removal to hit on this. This is going to... If not, I'll just chalk it up to its Alchemy, so be it. Anyway, I did spend gold on this one instead. Able to save up quite a bit. Oh yeah, Lee Martin. Also, many thanks for sharing the vid as well. That you. I have only one swamp, and guess that's what I'm. Well, at least I can go Herbalist into Cavalier. The Sky Rider is a long way off, so not in a rush for that. Always say hello. Oh great! I'm hitting all the. I'm hitting the rest of my red cards now. Maybe I should have added. Okay. Okay, we're gonna swing first with the Herbalist. Maybe the Scry can save us. No, yeah, it saves us. We have the mountain up top. We'll just run the Cavalier. We are going aggro. As far as board sweeps are concerned, I think it's in black, and that's 2 black mana. So at least I'm not too worried about that. Opponent could just have like running. Okay, there's 1 black, so I can. It's time to be slightly concerned. You'll most likely play the Steel Crusher first. Opponent goes Vesuv and miss. I'm probably not gonna kick. Yeah, so we're just gonna play the Herbalist again. I kind of want to hold up Lightning Strike because our opponent is taking their time getting their board set up. So it's so they basically played a 4 mana draw card. Now it did cost me 1 card, so it's ooh, they ditched the Sliver. So this one, it costs 1 more mana for the kicker, but I might as well just a little swing first. But I'm gonna invest the Steel Crusher. Coalition. Yeah, we will drop that too. We have 2 humans actually. 3rd human if we kind of want to. So we might be able to catch our opponent off guard with this one. Now, that depends on the board state. It is. Oh, they're just drawing cards. Oh, they didn't even have the mana to kick it. Oh no. Oh no. This is okay. They have an Evolved Sleeper, so. Probably don't need the planes anymore at this point. Yeah, opponent's forced to block this one. Now, if there's a card that I'm not familiar with, that might be a problem. We at least have the Fire Nado to kind of clear the board a bit. But yeah, our opponent, Tear Asunder, sure. Solarian Terror, sure. Solarian Terror does not fly. Yeah, and the opponent concedes that. Yeah, they know what's coming, and I probably would have just swung with the Ape enlisted. So that was a very good start. Again, I sometimes feel that Domain is just can be too greedy, so I like being able to play White X as a deck because it punishes all that greed. Now that said, it's not perfect. If we did run, that's why ideally you want to go white black because it has harder removal. Right now, as far as our removal suite's concerned, the biggest we're going to be able to remove is a 5 toughness creature. So that is So in some board states that would be a problem. So we no rush on the chick. We probably would just go Sacred Peaks because we know we need our white mana. Yeah, there is enough incidental. Now, do I go Fate Bond? Do I go Fate Bond or Chick? Depends on what our opponent drops as a creature. Well, if they aren't dropping a creature, we can actually just go Cavalier. And the reason for this is because it doesn't commit that many creatures to the board. It's basically the most. It doesn't commit that many cards. It's basically the most normal thing I can drop. Opponent plays Eerie Soul Tender. Ooh, they got Rizug. Hey, Jericho Ilagan, thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? Okay, I'm actually gonna offer the Steel Crusher as a trade here. Like, sure, because if our opponent's willing to spend 5 mana just to get a creature back to hand, be my guest. Because it's basically it's kind of a time walk. They do have bigger creatures. This is where not hitting your black mana is an issue. But thankfully we have Flyers, so we can go for it. We can go that route. And I can just say enlist Tiana if I really want to punch through the Coalition Warbrute. Yeah, how are you doing, Mustana? It's been quite a while. How has the year been? That's actually a very, very important question. Year has been relatively kind, all that matter. Also, many thanks for sharing the stream. That's very kind of you. If our opponent is looking at Eerie Soul Tender, this is really bad for them. More than likely they have something. Now there is an argument I probably should have just played this, not bother with the sacrifice, but we'll see. Opponent goes Enthrall, but it does mean this comes back, so we're taking 6. Sure. Do they have a sacrifice? Bone Splinters. That's how that would be the one case where Troll is a very good option. You do need. I would probably hit anything other than the Phoenix Chick if that would be my suggestion. Yeah, black mana would be nice. Bone Splinters takes out the Cavalier, sure. We do hit an Herbalist. I might as well play out the Sleeper because we probably will be going wide. We can't kick it. Might as well just regular attack here. I could just enlist, but doesn't really matter in this case. Let's see what other big stuff our opponent might have. Phyrexian Rager, that's not big enough. Do note that we are okay into another Rager. So they did draw quite a few cards. Now I could just no. I could just swing with the Herbalist. It probably gets blocked. That's fine. I need. Then enlist the Sleeper. So we're looking for black mana or anything. Captain's Call is solid. So let's see if our opponent decides to trade the Warbrute. They could also trade both Ragers. I'm happy with either trade. The same trade as the Warbrute. Like, sure, it has Trample, but oh, that's also works. So they're just trading the Warbrute here. Yeah. Eerie Soul Tender has been kind of a miss. It's kind of the same as the Maestro's Initiate back in New Capenna. The mana you spend is just not... The mana you spend for the ability, just not good for it. Though it is a 3-1 body for 3, and sometimes you do hit a card that you do want to... So opponent is going to send both Ragers in, that's fine. So no reason to send Herbalist now. Might as well just Captain's Call. I am willing to send the Sleeper, even if it trades with Soul Tender, it's quite fine. But we do need to start hitting. Yeah, so we might have to swing with the Herbalist next turn. Fire Action Warhorse, no kicker. So opponent might have gone the other direction where it's black-red splashing white. That is a plausible one for me as well. I probably should have also sandbagged. Oh yeah, we have a Trail of Possibility. We should consider using that. Lightning Strike, sure. We'll just recast it next turn. If we got them to electrocute our chick, sure. It's not the worst case. Our opponent is going to start getting stuff back, so that is something we have to be careful with. Hitting black mana would be a real solid. Yeah, they might have wanted to play the land first if they were worried about if they wanted to hold up, say, another spell. Unfortunately, we are not getting there. So we can give up the board just to give us a Phoenix Chick. It gives us an additional life. So we'll be at 14. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Ooh, it's gonna be very tight. Now this is only 3 or more. So I can hold back one blocker. Yes, I am giving up these 3 just to get the Phoenix Chick and flying. If they have another Lightning Strike, I would be annoyed. Priest, it's action. I'll take it. This might not be the best action though. Also, there is a possibility that they can Atrocity for like another Soul Tender. So right now the game is just survive. Easier said than done. We see that in Master Chief Edition of Halo, if I'm not mistaken. Will we be able to survive? Opponent playing a land is a start. We know they are going to go Atrocity into something. So we know we're taking into Soul Tender. Military cards. Is there another? No, that was the biggest thing they could have gone back. If they have a combat trick, we could be dead. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's see if they have a way to pump for 3. There is one spell that could do it. No, that's not gonna do it. And that's good game. Unless they have removal for the chick. Scene cards, we don't really get. Yeah, we get stone nothing there. So let's see if this gets true. Nope, they don't have it. Okay, so Priest of Possibility also has a very big possibility of being Stone Cold Nothing. So with the exception of certain mythics, and actually some of the multicolored rares are pretty good, I would say that Alchemy is not gonna be that busted this time around. Not that Do I mind it that much? No, I actually like the Alchemy idea for limited because it does give us something interesting to do. It's basically a change in flavor from time to time. That's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, as to whether that also, oh yeah, I need to double check. Yeah, I'm having problems with Streamlabs, so I'm pretty sure I missed someone. MTG with options for paid content. Yeah, that's correct. You can. It's the thing to note about paying is you can pay for more cards, but though you're opening packs, so it's kind of that. We probably want to mulligan this. I don't like having only one card as an option and hoping to hit red. This is much better. I can open on red. I can probably bin the captain's call actually. You know what? Let's open up some possibilities. Let's see what we hit. So we get flying, and that's it. So two flyer for 2 mana. Not the worst. Where do the rest of the cards go? Oh, it doesn't say where the rest of the cards go. Oh, it shuffles. Okay. And some possible. So probably just lead on Fate Bonder and swing. Now Splatter Goblin can just kill the Fate Bonder if I block with it. So we probably just Flowstone Infusion this. You know what? We can just take it also. Because at this rate they're probably gonna drop something else, and I can just Flowstone Infusion that instead. Like the Argivan Cavalier, that is a very good Flowstone Infusion target. Now I'm probably gonna just flash in the Cleaving Skyrider and then just go for it. Opponent also doing the white X deck. Opponent just swing with Splatter Goblin. I will take. We kind of have enough flyers to make this matter somewhat. It really depends what our opponent's next play is. A decent 4-drop is going to ruin our day. Phyrexian Missionary. Yeah, that ruins our day in the sense it gets the Cavalier back. So we are kind of racing. We're kind of racing in the air. And we probably have to play the Benelish Sleeper to... Oh, we can also... Now this is actually very awkward because I want to play the Benelish Sleeper to block, which probably means I don't kick it at all. Okay, hear me out. If I kick, there's a good chance they sack the Splatter Goblin. If they suspect I'm keeping this up, alternately, the plan would be to take out the Splatter Goblin first, but they have a token, so it's actually a real feel bad. My best bet would actually be to wait for them to try to go for a mass swing and try to take them out from there. Heroic Charge would be really welcome at this point. Also note that our opponent has... We did take a mulligan though, but opponent has plenty of cards. I might have to block. It keeps us on parity in the damage race. The Splatter Goblin only takes out one creature. Now, we are going to lose the parity race unless we hit, like, say, a Captain's Call. Does our opponent have a Lightning Strike? They do. Okay. Didn't really matter which one they hit. Samite Herbalist is quite good. So as I said, I'm probably just gonna play the sleeper plane. If it means that they stop committing the missionary and start committing the cavalier, it gives us options. Or if they start committing the tokens, that also gives us options in that direction. Because I am willing, like if our opponent just, oh, they're willing to swing both. There is a spell that gives first strike. That concerns me. If they have it, I am probably dead. He did enlist, I'm assuming. Yep, he did enlist. So, am I willing to take 3 damage? Probably not. Let's force them to have the combat tricks, but it's very possible that they do have the heroic. No, they don't have the heroic charge. So, unfortunately, they have more resources. They do have a Tiana. They have a Steel Crusher. I probably just hold back in this case. Now, they still have a big advantage over us by virtue of the fact that the Fire Action Missionary was able to get them back a card. Our only saving grace is that they've made all their land drops, which means they're not drawing as much action. In fact, they probably wanted to draw fewer lands, but we might still be in a world of hurt here. Enthrall to the Pit. Okay, so that's not good. And we lose the Priest as well. The Priest of Possibility. We'll take the Consolation Prize. And this time we have to hold back because we are now losing the damage race. Opponent also seems to be holding back. If they swing, I have to assume it's a heroic charge. Or no, just a burn spell. Okay. It could have been worse. Now this is us hoping that we could kind of keep up with the situation, but it's. Oh wait, what does this do? Deals when it dies equal to its power to any target. Okay, so this is a concern. Opponent actually is incentivized to make us reduce the number of to reduce our board so that it improves the Balduvian Berserker. Did not need Sacred Peaks. Yeah, this particular game not looking good for us, but yeah, we can't get it all. Oh, they even what's this? Whenever it attacks, perpetually gets that choice. Ooh, wow. Our only spot removal for this is Lightning Strike, and we don't quite have it. We will be giving up a lot of tokens just to stay alive. And even then, the next card in question would also have some variation of Menace, Death Touch, or Lifelink. So what are we looking for? Lightning Strike would be nice. Heroic Charge would also be... it's fine. Removal for any more flyers. But basically, yeah, if you're... our opponent's draft was significantly better for the... Oh wow, they can now give the flyer lifelink. It's getting worse by the day. Okay, so this one is probably gonna get lifelink. Yeah, we're gonna lose to the rare. No way around it. So first we have to do blocks here, blocks here. It does wipe out our entire board. So yeah, we're probably not gonna win this one. If they have a combat trick in addition to this, and it's any target, they probably just... they could hit the token, but they probably just hit me. Oh. hit the token. Well, actually, no. Hitting the token is kind of a better choice here. Yeah, we needed to have a creature on board. That is one key difference between this monstrosity and the riding mass. But I would still probably run the monstrosity for mana considerations. That's something to keep in mind. Hey. So we took our first L. Then again, I can't. Then again, it looks like those were quality uncommons, especially the Phyrexian Missionary. That one does, it both helps and wrecks the white X plan. So I'll keep that in mind. We are yet to get to play our Defilers, but we will keep this hand. Actually, no. Everything's too expensive. Am I gonna have to mulligan? Yeah, this is more realistic. Let's see, human coalition. We've been to Skyrider. No, I want to play Yeah, I kind of want to play Herbalist. The Scry is really important. That's pretty much why I took it. If they're playing, so we're gonna get to see what this will become if it does get crewed. So there are quite a few options here, and a lot of them are really not good for us. A good number of them have flying. Dual Craft Trainer is they either have a lot of flying or mess us up in a lot of ways. None of these are really good options. Just on the board presence alone, I would say that anything that has... Okay, they actually chose the Battle Driver. Weird flex, but okay. So this one's fine in the sense that, okay, now we have at least a cheap one. We can also... Okay, we have an out now. Steel Crusher. So our opponent could just crew, but they just get a 3/3 out of this. It's kind of sad, but... Okay, so if our opponent actually goes out of their way to crew this, what I'm probably gonna do is just play the Steel Crusher and hold it and hold on it. And also this already ETB'd, so we're actually gonna swing with everything. We need to see. Actually, probably. There is a world where I probably want this land, and that is if we run into our Defiler. Because by committing the Samite Herbalist, and if they block, we lose out on the Monstrosity, so that one doesn't matter as much. We'll cycle it. Let's see if our opponent gives up the Cavalier. That'll be soup. They did not. Now I'm hoping we hit a land off the top now. Now the interesting thing they can do now is, yeah, because this is yeah, they want to crew this first. We're gonna wreck this now before anything ETBs. Do they have a way to protect it? There are ways to return target permanent, so... Well, no, they're letting it go. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to start dropping creatures right at this point. Which is worse? This honestly is the worst one. Again, we are going to commit the Herbalist. Swamp. We'll hit the swamp because because for some reason our opponent is not willing to commit to sniping the monstrosity. No, sniping the Herbalist. They might have an artillery blast, which would make me really sad. So this enlists. So he's gonna enlist. Okay, this time he's now holding back. Take 3, sure. Yeah, now we're keeping Mesa Cavalier. Opponent probably is now gonna block the Herbalist at last. They might have removal for the monstrosity, which would make us really sad though. But also, I'm starting to notice that, well, aside from the mulligans, we've always been playing behind in terms of we've never had to remove their tokens. So it's a 4-5. Like, I could swing, but that doesn't really help our case. Well, it will take out 2 of their creatures, so that might help our case a bit. I'll consider doing that, and I'll consider that doing that in the next round. Also note that our opponent's been stuck on 4 mana for quite a while. That would explain the card stuck in hand. Urnoon Battle Hymn. Never seen this card. Oh, that's all they're attacking with. Okay. This doesn't have trample per se. I think take up the shield. Ooh, it's fine. At least we only lost a small creature instead of the large one. We can now go on the flyer strat. Let's see. Actually, we do want to swing now. I will note that Artillery Blast is an instant, so we are kind of opening ourselves up a bit there. Benelish Knight Commander is doing pretty good for him. So let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We will survive. Opponent probably cannot commit every card. They might even have to hold the Warbrute back. We'll see what combination of stuff they do, but I'm definitely enlisting this one. I would commit every small creature at this point. Oh, they're committing the entire board. Heroic Hymn will not do it. Super sus, but we might as well go. We might as well go for it. They probably do have the Artillery Blast. Join forces, untap 2. Yeah, they had some combat tricks. So knowing that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're still alive. barring a haste creature or some other combat trick. In fact, they used this combat trick on defense. So that's something. Hey, Kyle Braxton, thank you for liking the stream. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, you might be watching me die. Okay, hold on. This is computed, but they could have a burn spell. If they had a burn spell, they would have fired it off earlier. A way to block a flyer would be the end of us unless we can hit removal. A way to remove our creature would also be. They're looking for it. Did they hit it? No, they did not hit it. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness. That was so close. We almost lost. Peace. How am I? Well, actually, okay, a little bit of story time. This one's a bit of an interesting one. Probably also a very good public service announcement, especially if you guys have kitchens. It's been a few months since we moved into the house. There was one point where there's actually one point where it's like I was smelling something that kind of smelled like gas, but I didn't pay. It was kind of weird. I didn't pay mind to it. But then there was one time when my father was cooking. He was boiling stuff. He just finished boiling. He turned off the stove. When he turned off the stove, there was a bit of a poof. And actually, it lifted a part of the stove up, and my father saw like the flash. Thankfully, our gas here is actually it's a bit of a construction story. We'll go to the next game as I tell it. So what kind of happened there was we built our stove and we built a frame around for the stove. So pretty much so in a way, gas never flooded the kitchen. It only flooded that small section. And so we also bought a safety valve and other stuff, so it only just ignited that it only ignited the gas in that small area. So yeah, that one happened. We did not use the stove for the next day. We turned up the gas. It's basically just an LPG canister. We had someone come and check. Apparently, one of the fittings had a hairline crack. So and it was not a brass fitting. Kind of weird. Like the thing came from abroad. You'd expect them to use a proper fitting. Well, but no brass fitting there. So we now had it replaced with a brass fitting, so that would last much more properly. Always offer the trade on that creature because we know how badly things could have gone. Now we are holding back a bit. I'm gonna actually take the 2 and see what happens next. But yeah, hopefully everyone else is safe. This is probably the real threat, not the wandering tree folk. We did hit another herbalist, but now I might want to consider playing the cavalier first. And the reason for that is because if we manage to hit the Defiler of Fate, we can kind of start going off on these guys. We're gonna offer the trade. Basically, we're gonna see if we can bait out a combat trick. If our opponent blocks it like that, they did have a combat trick, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I would rather they use the Leyline Binding there than here. Kind of wish you held on. Well, if they happen to draft a second Leyline Binding, I'm going to complain to the people in that table. Citizen's Arrest, just as bad. Oh well, we're taking damage. And I guess we run these out. So one thing to note is that if we enlist the Fate Bonder, we can actually drop Molten Monstrosity on the cheap. Argiveman Phalanx, okay, not the worst. We did hit a Captain's Call. Unfortunately, if I enlist the Phalanx, if I enlist the Fate Bonder, it just dies. So we're actually gonna just play Captain's Caller right now. No good attacks here. This has Vigilance too, and we don't exactly have the proper removal for this. Yeah, we might actually lose this on the back of on back-to-back removal. Although if our opponent is willing to commit, well, I'm Griffin Protector, that's not the worst outcome. So Coalition Construct, I can make a 3/2 human, or actually I do want to make a 3/2 human instead of the soldiers because I have a Molten Monstrosity. That's fine. We are gonna save up a bit, take some damage on the way. Opponent does have the mana to now seek a creature card. So they probably will just be activating that. They kind of want to get their... Oh no, just another Argivan Phalanx, okay. So we are in danger in the air right now. Okay, there's our splash card we don't have quite yet. Herbalist allows us surge, but we're gonna pass. Yeah, our opponent could just probably start swinging with Griffin Protector. We could lose this way. Yeah, we need to swing with the monstrosity now. At least we now have a blocker. Yeah, opponent's gonna let that go. Okay, let's see how things turn out here. Actually, it's a good point. Like, all the times I've been drafting white, black, and whatnot, I have not been able to get any of these removal pieces at all. Okay, we're definitely gonna have to let that slide. We are not going to let that slide though. The opponent knows it. Oh no, opponent probably knows it, but he might want to commit anyway. If they have a combat trick, so be it. I can't really do anything about it. I might as well make them commit at this point. So now we have... Does our opponent have stall for time? Okay, if I swing with this, they could... Well, we probably need to do this anyway, because if our next card is a land like that, we would really be dead no matter what. I might as well play this, but yeah, looks like Defiler did not do anything, and it's a good thing we were still able to win games on all things considered, but man, Defiler did not do a single thing at all. At least at strength of the coalition, yeah, that's a good game. Ay, ay, ay. I am starting to consider that white is probably going to be overdrafted just because on removal quality, white and black. I did not get to see any of those removal pieces. Well, we did get our 1,000 gems. We're hoping to get one more. Do we have any other options that we can kick in here? Not really. And I'm not in... Okay, if I were to go white-black instead, we give up on the red. We lose the Lightning Strike, we lose the Flowstones, we lose the Chick, Steel Crusher, Tiana, Fire Nado, Monstrosity. No, it's not looking better. Do I want to add an Artillery Blast just to give me additional removal? I guess we could. We have 16 creatures. We can probably give a Priest of Possibilities. We can give up one Fate Bonder, I suppose. Now, although we are able to hit up to 4 points of damage on Artillery Blast, realistically we're only getting 3 points. So we do have issues. I will agree it's not the best deck on the planet, but hey, you know what? Sometimes that's how it is. You don't get to play. You don't get to always draft the best deck in the world. You just have to make the best out of the situation. But I would really kill to open enchantment-based removal. Now, to be fair, we did open one in one of the packs. I think I did not get that because I got the Defiler. I am willing to keep this because of Infusion Lightning Strike, but honestly, if we don't hit another land, we are in real trouble. Okay, thank goodness we hit another land. We are not striking anything down. I really should also learn to... Anyway, Argivan Cavalier. Does our opponent have an Essence Scatter? Yes, they do. I'd be annoyed if they have another Essence Scatter, but here you go. They probably would not You know what? Actually, I would not mind if they did Essence Scatter. That pause was super creepy. But we are having mana issues now, so this might be a bigger problem. Also, swing first because why not? They might Essence if they... Yeah, I was saying that they might Essence Scatter this because they know I have mana troubles. How do I feel about Essence Scattered printed in draft formats? I hate it. Yeah, it's blues only removal in a sense, but it's probably it's kind of like the biggest buzzkill in history. I would rather they just get an efficient bounce. Actually, yeah, I would rather they get an efficient bounce spell. Now, I am willing to commit the chick into the sentry, though. We are still missing our land drops, all things considered, but we don't really have much of a choice. They have to shore up too. I hate you. Sometimes that... Okay, we are now finally catching up, sort of. If they haven't Actually, that's a good point. Now that I think of it, I don't want to see a format where both Essence Scatter... In a limited format where both Essence Scatter and Negate are live. And we kind of have it here. Then again, it could be... Yeah, because these are hard counters in a sense. Sure, they're limited, but they're still hard counters. I would rather have the casualty piece one instead. Well, the flip side is that opponent doesn't probably have a counter for everything at this point. We are still in trouble of losing to the Soaring Drake. Known as Vortex, returns to the bottom instead. Yeah, that's the problem. The removal is way too efficient. Yeah, we're gonna... Yeah, this is the... Yeah, removal feels very efficient. Actually, if you think of it, this one's just like this is just a regular unsummon. Yeah, Molten Monstrosity. I'm starting to realize this one is for a specific deck. You really want this like a red-green. Let's Flowstone Infusion this first, see what happens. Because it does dictate what I block with. Well, but yeah, also look, man, look at the number of instants they played. Yeah, we can concede this one. Yeah, this was so Essence Scatter is the key. Also we did not hit mana for a long time. Yeah, so this was the probably one white X deck that we did not pan out. The Defiler cycle looks impressive, but unfortunately for limited, they're also easily answerable. None of them have inherent protection. In a way, it's kind of why Tolarian Terror is probably a better creature than a lot of them for the most part. But then again, as far as Alchemy is concerned, it feels very non-existent. There are a few cards that it seems to hit, but for the most part, you're not gonna see a lot of it, and I guess that's fine. This is the one card I wanted to see. Unfortunately, that did not come out. That would have been a really big help in white-red. Also, any piece of enchantment removal would have been nice too. Well, at least I got the mythic rare. That's gonna be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Many thanks to those who liked and watched or are still watching. Lee Martin, Hernando Ifarong, Jericho Ilagan, Kyle Braxton. Many thanks to all of you. Yeah, this draft did not go quite as well as planned, but hey, nothing goes according to plan at all times. But we tried to make the best out of everything. So wish you guys a great week. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.